Today I'm going to show you 10 maintenance tips that shops don't want you to know. So if you want to save money and get to know your bike better, stick around. Tip number 10, the chain doesn't need expensive lubricants. Gear oil works just as well or better. You walk into any motorcycle shop and see entire shelves of chain lubricants in flashy packages promising ceramic technology or extreme protection, and they all cost a fortune. Well, here's what mechanics don't tell you. 80 and 90 weight gear oil works just as well, and sometimes better for a fraction of the cost. Chain lubricant has one job: to reduce friction by protecting against rust and dirt. Gear oil, designed to work under high pressure in gearboxes, does that job perfectly because it's thick enough to stay on the chain and not fling off like aerosol sprays. A liter of gear oil costs between $8 and $10 and lasts you an entire season, while name brand lubricants cost you $20 for barely 5 applications. Application is very simple. Put the oil in a small container, apply it with a brush to the chain, then wipe off the excess with a rag. No spraying, no waste, no overpaying. A rider with over 50 years of experience commented that if you're not prepared to do your own basic maintenance, the hobby becomes very expensive. Another pointed out that doing maintenance yourself is part of the joy of getting to know your machine. Gear oil works because chemistry doesn't understand marketing budgets. Your chain needs lubrication and protection, and gear oil provides both without the inflated price. Tip number 9. Brake fluid doesn't need to be changed every year, only when it's dark. Every time you go to the shop, they try to sell you an annual brake fluid change as if it were a sacred commandment. Well, here's the truth. Brake fluid doesn't magically expire at 12 months. For normal street use, changing it every 2 or 3 years is more than enough, and it saves you the cost of an unnecessary service. Brake fluid is hygroscopic, meaning it absorbs moisture from the air over time, which lowers its boiling point and affects performance. But this process is slow, especially if the bike is well stored and the reservoir is sealed. Modern fluids are designed to last longer than mechanics admit because they contain additives that resist moisture absorption. Instead of changing it by the calendar, what you should do is inspect its condition regularly. Most reservoirs are transparent. The fluid should be light amber in color, not dark brown or black. If it looks good and the brakes feel firm, you're fine. You can buy a brake fluid tester for a few dollars and check it yourself. If it reads more than 3% water content, it's time to change it. Mechanics love the annual brake fluid service because it's pure profit. Little material cost, quick labor, and most riders never question whether it's necessary. A technician at a Kawasaki and Suzuki dealership commented that almost everything in the video is true, though he prefers to change the fluid once a year for safety. But for the average rider who doesn't live in an extremely humid climate and doesn't do track days, every 2 or 3 years is perfectly fine. The key is to check the condition, not to follow an arbitrary date. Tip number 8. Anti-seize compound prevents bolts from seizing forever. Mechanics make money drilling out seized bolts, but a $5 tube of anti-seize compound prevents most of these problems. Applied correctly, anti-seize compound saves you hundreds of dollars in extraction costs and makes future maintenance much easier. This compound works by preventing dissimilar metals from welding together due to corrosion. Exhaust bolts, spark plugs, and chain adjusters are especially prone to seizing from heat and moisture. A thin layer when installing them prevents future nightmares. Without anti-seize, bolts corrode in place, and often you have to drill them out, which can damage threads and lead to expensive repairs or even replacing entire parts. Application is simple. Clean the bolt thread, apply a thin layer of compound, and install normally. Don't overdo it. Excess can attract dirt or alter torque readings. A user mentioned a very important detail. Anti-seize drastically changes torque readings when tightening bolts. You can easily strip threads if you're not careful, so tighten a little less than you normally would, or use a torque wrench with reduced values. Focus on steel bolts threaded into aluminum, which is where galvanic corrosion accelerates seizing. If you live near the sea, corrosion accelerates dramatically, and salty air seizes bolts in months without protection, making anti-seize mandatory. If you want to save money at the shop and get to know your bike better, this video interests you, hit like right now and hit the hype button so more people learn to do their own maintenance. A 50-year-old rider said that doing it yourself is part of the joy of getting to know your machine. Tip number 7. Changing coolant is easier than you think. Mechanics charge between $100 and $200 to change the coolant, a job that takes 30 minutes and requires no special tools. Learning to do it yourself saves you that money and also ensures the cooling system gets the attention it needs. Coolant degrades over time, losing its ability to regulate temperature and allowing corrosion to build up. Flushing the system every 2 or 3 years prevents overheating and expensive engine damage, so this maintenance is crucial for the life of your machine. The process is straightforward. Drain the old coolant from the drain plug or lower hose. Rinse with clean water until it runs clear, then refill with the proper mixture. Most bikes take between 2 and 4 liters of mixture depending on engine size. Always use the type of coolant specified by the manufacturer. Mixing different chemicals can form a gel that clogs passages and destroys the engine. If you have doubts, flush the entire system before changing brands or types to avoid dangerous chemical reactions. And bleeding the air correctly is important to avoid hot spots. Start the engine with the radiator cap on so bubbles escape as you add coolant. Some bikes have specific procedures outlined in the manual. One mechanic commented that although most bikes are easy, some like V-twins can be more complicated. But with a little specific research for your model, you can do it. Mechanics charge what they charge because most people think it's complicated, but the reality is it just takes attention to detail and basic tools. Tip number 6. Cleaning your bike with household products is cheaper and works just as well. Specific motorcycle cleaning products cost 3 times as much as car products or even household products, and they do exactly the same thing. A rider with 50 years of experience commented that he's cleaned his bikes with furniture polish for decades and never had a problem. Another mentioned that chainsaw bar oil works great for lubricating the chain and is much cheaper. Motorcycle wash soap is nothing more than car wash soap in a different bottle at a higher price. Kerosene-based chain cleaner works better than expensive sprays and costs pennies per application. Microfiber cloths from auto parts stores clean just as well as motorcycle branded ones. The material is identical, only the packaging and price change. Buy automotive products and save the difference for what really matters. One user commented that he uses old engine oil to lubricate the chain because gear oil tends to attract more dirt. Another noted that chainsaw bar oil is perfect because it's sticky and doesn't fling off. The important thing is to read the ingredients instead of believing the marketing. Many motorcycle products are literally the same as automotive products with a different label and higher price. Professional detailers use automotive products on very expensive bikes without any problem. Tip number 5. Maintenance you can do yourself without expensive tools. There are plenty of maintenance tasks that shops charge you for as if they were complicated, but you can do yourself with basic tools and a little time. Cleaning and adjusting the chain requires no more than a brush, a rag, a wrench, and the proper lubricant. Changing brake pads is a matter of removing a pin and a couple of bolts. Checking the oil level and topping it up doesn't need any tools. Adjusting the clutch cable tension takes 2 wrenches in less than 5 minutes. Changing spark plugs is unscrewing old ones and screwing in new ones. One rider commented that he's had his battery for 11 years, using a proper battery tender during winter. Another pointed out that chain oil doesn't have to be expensive. Gear oil works perfectly. The key is knowing what you can do and what is better left to a professional. But much of what you pay for at the shop are tasks that anyone with a little patience can do at home. You don't need to be an engineer or have a garage full of expensive tools. With a basic set of wrenches, a couple of screwdrivers, and a little model-specific information, you can do most routine maintenance. And the best part is that when you do it yourself, you know it's done right because you take your time and aren't rushing to finish for the next job. Tip number 4. The battery lasts longer than mechanics tell you if you take care of it. Mechanics tell you the battery needs to be changed every 2 years, but a well-maintained battery easily lasts 4 or 5 years, and in some cases even longer. One rider commented that he had a battery in his Suzuki Bandit that lasted 11 years using a battery tender during winter and storing it in a warm garage. Another noted that his battery on a 2000 Harley Softail lasted 10 years. The secret: keeping it charged and not letting it fully discharge. The biggest enemy of batteries isn't time, it's deep discharges and excessive heat. If you leave your bike parked for weeks or months without use, the battery slowly discharges and each deep discharge shortens its life. The solution is to use a smart battery tender when the bike will be sitting for a long time, not an old charger that keeps feeding current even when the battery is full, which overcharges and kills it. A smart tender monitors voltage and only supplies current when needed, keeping terminals clean and tight tight also helps. Corrosion increases resistance and makes the battery work harder than necessary. And if you have a serviceable battery, checking the electrolyte level and refilling with distilled water when needed. With this care, that battery that the mechanic says needs changing every 2 years will last you twice or 3 times as long. We've already seen several tips that mechanics don't want you to know. I want to know if this is providing value to you. Write the word learning in the comments if you didn't know any of these things, and thanks to this video, you're going to start doing your own maintenance. Your experience can help other riders save money and get to know their bike better. Tip number 3, use a smart battery tender, not an old charger. Most cheap battery chargers don't shut off when the battery is full. They keep supplying current even when it's not needed. That's fatal for modern batteries. A true smart battery tender monitors voltage and only activates charging when necessary. It keeps the battery at its optimal point without overcharging. They're more expensive than a basic charger, but they cost much less than having to buy a new battery every 2 years. One rider commented that he's used battery tenders for years and his batteries last much longer. Another added that a 1 amp charger is enough to maintain the battery during winter. You don't need a huge one. Smart tenders also usually have LED indicators that show you the battery status. Some models even have specific modes for lithium or AGM batteries. Investing $50 or $60 in a good tender can save you twice or 3 times that in batteries over the years. And best of all, it gives you peace of mind. You know that when spring comes, the bike will start first time. Tip number 2, don't tighten the oil drain plug like you're Hercules. Tightening the oil drain plug with excessive force is the fastest way to strip the oil pan threads. And fixing stripped threads costs hundreds of dollars. The drain plug only needs to be tight enough for the washer to seal. You don't need to put your whole body weight on the wrench. Most drain plugs have a torque spec of between 20 and 30 Newton meters, which is quite low. If you don't have a torque wrench, tighten by hand until you feel resistance, then a quarter turn more, and change the washer every time you change the oil. A crushed old washer won't seal properly and can cause leaks, which leads some to tighten even more and worsen the situation. One mechanic commented that many shops use impact guns to install the drain plug and end up over tightening it. Another noted that anti-seize compound changes torque values, so be careful. The drain plug is a part you remove and install dozens of times during the bike's life. It's worth treating it with care. A new oil pan or a thread repair with a helicoil isn't cheap, all for a moment of excess force. Tip number 1, the best tip of all, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. A mechanic gave a tip that many riders ignore, and it costs them money. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't disassemble parts that work fine just out of curiosity or because you think it's time. Don't replace components that are within specifications just because they've reached a theoretical mileage. Sometimes preventive maintenance becomes destructive maintenance. A screw you remove and replace unnecessarily is a screw that can strip or break. A gasket you remove and reinstall can stop sealing. A connector you disconnect can lose good contact. Of course, you need to do scheduled maintenance, but you don't need to invent extra work. Inspect, check, measure, verify. If wear is within limits, leave it as is. If the fluid has good color and looks good, don't change it yet. Often the eagerness to do maintenance ends up creating problems where there were none. One rider summed it up perfectly. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The best maintenance is what's done when it's due and only when it's due, not what's done out of anxiety or because you think more work is better work. Doing your own maintenance not only saves you money, it helps you know your bike better and gives you the peace of mind that things are done right. A rider with decades of experience summed it up like this: doing maintenance yourself is part of the joy of getting to know your machine. If this video has helped you, share it with that friend who always takes their bike to the shop for everything, even to inflate the tires. Subscribe to Bikes Without Filters if you want more practical tips without hidden advertising. And since you watched this video, check out the video on 10 secrets to make your motorcycle last a lifetime. See you there.